Girl, you absolutely should learn to love yourself. You should already love yourself. But I know that that journey is is easier said than done. And my own self love journey, it's been a roller coaster and whiplash of bravado and authenticity and everything in between. But I do feel like you kind of, I think the point of like fake it till you make it is that when you are trying to transform and to embody someone you know you are and who you also want to be, but it's not quite aligning with who you've been conditioned to perform to be. It is kind of like you're faking it till you make it. It feels like you're putting on a costume. It feels like there's an imposter syndrome. But it's really just following what it is that you've always loved and wanted to do. I think sometimes people force themselves to do things that aren't like genuine. And it's because like they think that they need to, and then there becomes more traps of being conditions, right? Of being who people think you should be, especially in like this modern age. You see it on social media a lot. There's so many people who are like, oh well, social media is the thing now, I have to post this, I have to do that. And the truth is, you don't have to do anything you don't fucking want to do. And I have really tried to make a practice of not doing anything that I don't want to do, because I was forced to do things that I didn't want to do most of my life. One way or another, I was forced into it. So I have been making a pretty drastic stand in not doing things that I don't like. So with that, I have always loved being on the camera. Like always. I had a camera growing up. I saved my money and I got a camera and I was taking pictures all the time. I loved like MySpace era things. I really love that self-expression and that like virtual diary. I never did Tumblr. Everyone tells me I should. And I don't really know. Like, I'm trying to find that way of expressing myself in the ways that I love. Like, I'm not really camera shy. For me, it's I fear judgment. I fear ridicule. I fear being condemned in certain ways. And that's because the public, I mean, I know you know, but the public has not been very kind to my thoughts and perspectives. I haven't necessarily helped the situation in how I have expressed them, but I also like to give myself a lot of grace. And like, I was put into a state of defense, and how I chose to defend myself was the best I could do with where I was at my moment in life, in my healing journey. Like, there is a lot of different reasons why I have said and done everything that I've done, and I don't regret any of it. But when I talk about being gun shy, it's like, well, sometimes it feels like embarrassing or cringy or unnecessary. Like, why do I feel a need to talk into my phone and engage in these relationships online? And why, and not that to say that they're not real, but like, my struggle with like building relationships is that like I genuinely build relationships with people, and then I've learned online like all about parasocial relationships, learning boundaries, and those are hard things to learn. And I don't think that humans really know how to navigate that world on either spectrum. I don't think like high stake famous celebrities know how to handle it, and I don't think the most obsessive fan in the world knows how to handle it. I think people just get too excited and then just have a psychosis. I think there is excitement psychosis that comes from just interacting with someone who inspires you to a high level. I've been there myself. I've met some well-known famous people. Sometimes they tell you not to meet your heroes, and I've learned that lesson the hard way too. Like, there's so much that goes into navigating these public spaces and public figure mode. And like me, when it comes to dressing up and doing photos and videos on like a fashion modeling perspective, I just love clothes. I think it's fun. That's like, it's just exciting to me. And I'm not really I don't care for a brand deal necessarily. I just want to be able to dress the way that I want to be able to dress. Like, that's my thing, is there's everything that I want to do is just for me to do what I want to do. Like, I don't want a brand deal that forces me to dress a certain way to promote their brand. I want to wear what I want to wear, and then I want to show people how I mix and match styles. Like, I love showing and sharing how I express myself through these different mediums, in fashion and all of the above. And then same with talking. Like, I really like talking about all my ideas. I think people kind of miss the point that I'm talking from like a inquisitive and skeptical perspective. Like, I have a what do I call it? The what if game. What about, or what about, it's not what aboutism. I don't really like what aboutism, but I do engage. I can easily get baited into a what aboutism debate, because I think that that can be important to discuss and hash out. But I also have learned that people use that just to trap you into making you angry and saying something that will get the mob to turn on you. So I've been victim of that over and over again. And so for me, doing podcasting, which is not something I thought I would ever do. This is something that I have been kind of encouraged to do, not just from friends and whoever else, but spiritually. So like, there's a challenge for me, because I am a storyteller. So like, writing is always come natural to me, and I'm like, well, I just want to write. And it's like, well, you have this I forget all the details, but it was like this Gemini karma. And so it's like, there's this voice that comes from anything through Gemini, all the communication. And it's not to say that you can't be a writer or anything, but there is a message to be shared within like a Gemini energy. And so I'm just really trying to follow how I've been called. But every time I've been called to share something, every time I get in a channel and I'm not filtering how I'm talking, I get in a lot of trouble with people. And I don't want to hurt people's feelings ever. Like, that's not my point. Even when I say offensive, final nail in the coffin points, my point isn't to go for the kill. If anything, it's for the resurrection. It's for the rebirth. It's for the healing. Like, it's removing the sword from the hearts of others and trying to get them to wake up and heal to their harmful ways of living or being. And it's like, well, who are you to say how people should live? And I don't think I am the voice of reason for anything, but I do feel like I have a strong interpretation of spiritual theology and theories, and I want to show people like a new perspective of the way I don't think people are reading things the way that they're supposed to, and then I want to share about that. And I love like the intellectual debate, but mean girl world and competition and high school cattiness doesn't end, and it's almost even worse in like academic fields and all of the above. And especially when you're like hyper feminine like me and just like fun, like my dream, my desire is to just live my life and have fun in an intellectually creative plane. I don't think anyone wants to be dumb, but I don't want to be dumb. I want to be informed, and I want to help bridge people into that like form of truth. And I mean like genuine truth. Like, let's debate this down, and that can be hard. I don't think people always give you the grace to process and debate ideas and concepts. People are deeply attached to it and all of the above. And so like, that's where for me, when it comes to the camera, is I have a better time in person, and then the conversation's not recorded. People can't pick apart everything that I said. Like, it's really wild having people like break down something you said and convince others of your intention, even when you go out of your way to be delicate about your intention. Or it's this idea of like, why are y'all so dumb that you don't understand that this is a nuanced take, that this is a generalized take, and that you should have some sense, common fucking sense, to not be like throwing these non-argument daggers that have nothing to do with what the fuck I'm talking about. And I know that that's been a common thing that a lot of people talk about in the modern culture, especially on TikTok. So yeah, thank you for the green being pretty on me. I'm running out of time, but yeah, that's just kind of like where I'm gun shy. It's not about being in front of the camera. It's about people witnessing me and not being fair to me.